Hi everyone, this is Malia. Today we are going to be talking about the Arctic Tundra case study. So, what is the Arctic Tundra? What is the Arctic Tundra case study? Basically, it includes all of the environmental impacts that are occurring in the US and specifically Alaska due to all of the oil drilling that is occurring. So, the three kind of main ideas that I'm going to be talking about today in this presentation include disturbances to cycles, impact of oil and gas instruction, and then habitat destruction. There are many physical factors um, affecting the flows and the stores in all of the cycles, including temperature and permeability of rock. And a lot more. And so on the land, oil production requires a ton of miles for drilling new pads. One estimate is about 280 miles, and this is for pumping stations and airports and pipelines, and all of these are going to be damaging all of the Arctic ecosystems around it, leading to loss in habitat and fish wildlife and all of that. These drilling pads would require massive quarrying of local rivers to produce gravel for construction sites. And so, again, leading to a loss of important ecosystems around, like I said, fish, wildlife, and all of that. It would create huge holes in landscape as well as interfering with both the permeability of permafrost and the natural drainage systems. So in the area, there'd be producing over 50,000 tons of nitrous oxides, which contributes to acid rain, which we talked about in class, and of course, global warming. Okay, so what species are affected specifically? Specifically, local fish and birds. Arctic foxes, polar bears, gray wolves are kind of the top four that are the most heavily affected from the oil drillings that are happening. It forces a change of migration pattern of all of the caribou herds, leading to potential loss in thousands of animals, and again, like livelihood of all the native people around. Other animals that would severely be disrupted by all of the drilling are polar bears. So these groups from over 20% of the world's polar bears, they would be forced to change their patterns of life, particularly with regards to the feeding patterns and areas used to bear with their young, with the large-scale drilling operations that are going on. So you may ask, why? Like, is this happening and what is the problem? So obviously, habitat destruction is a large concern, but talking about other important environmental issues would be the melting of ice, emissions of CO2, fossil fuels, and increase in temperatures. So, the melting of permafrost releases CO2 as well as gas flaring and oil spills, putting CO2. And thawing of soil also contributes to the emissions of CO2. The fossil fuels are emitting CO2 that's trapped in the atmosphere, and as a result, the temperatures are rising, and so it causes the Arctic tundra to just melt away. The increase in the temperature causes the water temperature to also rise, and this can result in the ocean currents being messed up. The chances of it sinking are lower, all of the icebergs, and without sinking cold water, the ocean currents could slow down or even stop in certain areas, which is a huge concern. So, what are some possible solutions to this issue? The Arctic plays a crucial role in maintaining a safe and stable global climate, meaning we have to consider using renewable energy, which is a huge one, ocean planning, which kind of ensures that most sustainable use of our marine space, um, And then lastly, supporting energy efficiency measure. Currently, it is costing the US 130 billion annually for energy. So, and then lastly, just like spreading awareness and letting people know that this is happening and that we are losing our habitat, and not only habitat, but the people living in the area as well. So, as much as we can do to prevent all of these harmful effects, is the best thing that we can do. And here are the resources that I used. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned a lot about the Arctic tundra, and hopefully you can spread awareness and let people know that this is a huge concern. Thank you.